Hello, board members. How we doing this fine Thursday afternoon? Well, I hope. As it is Tactical Thursday, we will eventually be getting around to doing some Earthbound, where we have a non-zero chance of finishing it up. Um, but before we do that, now that it's back to summertime and there's a lot more in between time, I'm gonna be doing some more Fallout New Vegas. Give me just a moment, because it turns out, for some strange reason, I got logged out of Twitch. But last week or not last time we messed around with the ye old Fallout, we had finished up Dead Money, and we had decided to get back onto the main story of... Butts, I forgot I can't do that. We decided to get back onto the main story of Fallout, because we have to make a little bit of progress in that before we go do the last DLC of Lonesome Road. So we went and confronted Benny at the Tops Casino. We promptly tried to talk to him. He betrayed us, of course, as is his way. So we killed him, took the stuff we needed from him, and gambled so much that we were kicked off the tables there in the ye old Tops Casino. We did a alternate dimension version of sneaking around and killing all of the guards that we could, which, by the way, was not considered a crime or bad karma. But we decided not to make that the official way the universe went and loaded that back. So we'll be starting up today by going into the going around, talking to some of the NPCs inside of the casino, and okay, don't need that right now, please. We'll be going into the casino and grabbing some side quests and stuff, and then I'm gonna have to figure out exactly where we're at in the ye old main storyline, because I don't even know where we left off at this point. I think we need to go talk to Mr. House at the Lucky 38 Casino. Is basically all we got left to do, because we did a lot of the side quest stuff before we even started the DLCs. Kind of only avoiding the Tops Casino because, and the casinos in general, because they had a chance to progress the story without intending to. Oh, interesting. A roguelite hockey module where every choice matters on your journey to build the best hockey team. Wow, that sounds fun for like a day or two. I might do that if it lets me build my own team and name my own players. I don't know. I might do that, actually. That was Tape to Tape, a hockey module. The rarely seen hockey modules these days. Not a popular thing. Outside of, I think, the NBA stuff and the NFL stuff, you don't get a lot of... I guess FIFA. FIFA does have a lot of stuff going on, but those aren't as popular in the States. The international football is not as popular in the States. It looks like audio's working. In the States as it is overseas. In the rest of the world. The places that are not the United States, for better or for worse. One thing I will mention, though, now that this is up and running, I can't continue. Why? Because yesterday I was kind of bored, and I got onto the ye old company Steam account, and they let me mess around with this stuff. So I went through and I did a like stabbing, Kabar McStabber, as you can see there, character who's basically just running around with a combat knife, and I wanted to see how much I could get into with a combat knife. I only got them to level 7, which is apparently a Ranger of the Wastes, but version info is English. That's interesting, actually. But yeah, this is where we're going to be picking up. So I know we have at least 2 side quests we can pick up while we're here. We got to find work. We got to find shows for the Tops Casino's like entertainment area. And then apparently Swank, the guy at the front desk, also has some sort of side quest for us. So I don't remember what that is. Now, the finding the help quest, though, that I do have a vague memory of, where I think it's the comedian guy who's out on the strip, I think there's one is the son of the mysterious stranger, who's the guitar playing guy underneath the billboard. And I want to say there's one other one, but I can't remember who the third one is. Also, this isn't loading, which is concerning. The Life Giver perk, you gain an additional 30 hit points. That's not enough. That's actually not as much as you think it would be. This is, again, like I said, a little concerning. It usually doesn't take this long. Even the first load at the beginning usually doesn't take this long. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't have control of the mouse either. I think it crashed. We're starting off strong with this one. We're starting off strong with this one. Okay. That's fine. We have other options. Yep, Fallout New Vegas is not responding. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. We'll just start it up again. Because, you know, Fallout New Vegas. It's strange. All those updates they added definitely added so many bugs. Because Fallout New Vegas legendarily launched super stable. And not even at all with any problems or anything. Nothing at all. Not even a slight bug. Alright. Let me try loading again. What's before that? Oh my god, so it would have been all of the stuff I did. Okay, no, we can't do that. Alright. We have to get this to work, or I'm going to lose a whole stream's worth of data. All the stuff we... Oh, okay, good. Okay. We're recovered. Okay. So yeah, we saved right before hitting that guy with that pipe.
Hello.
Right before I murdered all of these people. Alright, let's go talk to Swank.
Jesus. Benny's dead, and now I gotta take up the slack. This right here is the end of an era.
Who are you?
Baby, I'm the best thing that ever happened to you. Name's Swank. This here's my joint.
I thought, nice place. Got a minute to talk. Somehow I found it hard to believe. I thought Benny ran this place.
Yeah, well, that's the way it used to be. Now that Benny's gone, it's just me in charge.
I'm gonna make a few extra craps. Got any jobs? Can you give me the rundown of New Vegas? Nice place you got here. Tell me about it. Nice place.
The tops? Yeah, sure. You want the nickel tour? Old Swank's happy to oblige. We got everything you could want. Slot machines in the back, cards and roulette in the front, fine entertainment upstairs, and the Aces Theater. And all with your security personally guaranteed by the chairman and Mr. House's own Securitron police. It's the tops.
Okay. Look to make some...
Baby, you stick with me, you won't have to work a day in your life. Don't fret about caps. You just sit there and look pretty for me.
Flattering, but I don't like being tied down. How about some real work?
You might have a jaw at Tommy Torini up in the Aces. He's always looking for talent scouts.
You're just...
Don't be a stranger.
So you just pointed at me at the other person. Did you bump into me? Okay, well, now... Why... Okay. There's so many questions I have about so many different things, you see. I forget that he doesn't have his chainsaw right now. You are lucky. You're lucky that I am trying to actively not kill you. I've been requested by the literal existence of everything to not actively murder you with this pipe. So, you're very lucky. Alright. Let's go into the Aces Theater and talk to this guy about getting help for the entertainment business.
Morning.
Tony, I need to talk to you.
Hey, welcome.
Yeah. Swank mentioned you might be looking for some new acts. Tell me about the theater.
Well, it was my idea. Well, me and the rest of the Rat Pack boys. We took it to Benny, and he thought it was a good idea. A few years later, here we are. The best show in New Vegas.
Hey, what do you think about Benny?
Benny? He's an all right cat, you dig? He don't got much musical talent, but he knows how to run a business. When he's around, anyways.
Yeah, I hear you. Any idea where he goes when he disappears like that?
Well, now, you didn't hear this from Tommy, but Benny likes to go off on a bender now and then.
Oh.
Usually he's only gone a couple of days, but this last time, nobody saw him for almost a month. Ask me, I think he's got a dame from Gomorrah, holed up in his suite, because nobody ever saw him leave it.
Interesting. Okay. Swank said you had work?
Sure, baby, sure. Tommy's always looking for new talent to bring to the Aces. Tell you what, you see any good acts while you're out wandering, give them my card. If they work out, I'll give you a 3% cut of the door. Just swing back by as you recruit folks. I'll get you your bread.
All right. Barter. Make it 5.
Ooh, a shop customer. All right. 5% it is.
All right. That's it.
Take it easy, baby.
Talent pool. All right. You were very close to me, ma'am. I'm gonna check my pockets. Did you, like, try to steal my wallet?
How's it hanging?
I guess. Fine. But you were too close. Personal space, weirdo. Alright, thank you. Space Commander Beam Geiger doesn't have time for up-close and personal visits with random ladies in a casino. Oh. Gamora Hotel's unique style. Ultralux and Tops something? I'm assuming that's supposed to be casino, but it's just so blurry I can't actually read it. Enhance Vegas appeal. Gamora Hotel has something for everyone, yeah? I wonder how long that's been up there. Do you think that was something that was found and they put up there after the fact? Or it was one of those things...
The eyes of the mighty Caesar are upon you.
What?
He admires your accomplishments and bestows upon you the exceptional gift of his mark. Your crimes against the Legion, including the death of the fearless Wulpes and Kulta, are hereby forgiven. Caesar will not extend this mercy again. My lord requires your presence at his camp at Fortification Hill. His mark will guarantee your safe conduct through our lands.
How did you find me here?
I am one of Caesar's Frumentari, an infiltrator, a spy. You were not difficult to track.
Why does the Kaiser want to see me?
Go to him, and you will understand. Seek Caesar by way of Cottonwood Cove, south of Nelson. The cursor Lucullus will be waiting.
I think he's dead. I'm almost positive.
Hey, you there. I have a message for you.
Yeah?
It's from Ambassador Crocker. Very important. Here you go.
What? Okay. I love when everyone just knows where I am.
Caps.
That guy walks funny.
Hey, come on, lady. I'm trying to put on a show here.
Just have a few questions.
All right, but make it snappy, kid. This isn't exactly a lucrative career enterprise here.
I don't know. Okay. Tommy Torini at the Tops is hiring entertainers. I could put in a word for you.
Yeah? Hey, you're all right. Tell him I'll do it for 100 a night. No, 50. No, 20. 10. Just don't rob me. I'll do it.
Don't sell yourself short. You're worth a lot more than that.
Whoa, geez, what was I thinking? You're right. I had to go in there with a cool head. Tell them how much I'm really worth.
Tommy Torini's business card removed. All right. 3 remaining. All right. Okay. I'm trying to think who else is an entertainer for the purposes of this. Oh yeah, did I get my stuff back? Okay, it looks like I did. Alright, that's good. Oh yeah, then this is all the stuff I just found lying around. Where's my grenade rifle? But now, this is all the other random stuff I just picked up. Like Benny's suit. Alright. But we know we can at least give one of these to the, what do you call it? The son of the mysterious stranger guy. Outside of that, though, I'm not sure who the other ones are. I could maybe go over to... I don't think you can poach anyone out of the Atomic Wrangler. I don't think. But maybe. Really? I am shocked we didn't get mugged by anybody there. Traditionally, when I'm running through here, I get mugged. Trying to remember where that guy is. Rest stop. Wreckage. Oh, does it mark them? Oh. Wait, does it? Oh, it does. I thought I had to find them on my own. I thought this was one of those side quests that you had to find your own stuff, but I guess not. Oh, it looks like the other one is actually up in the north side. Interesting. Okay. All right, so we got one down in Novak, which is actually probably fine. We kind of need to go to Novak and just start moving some of our stuff to the sink. Wow, this guy's still here. Hey, man.
Hey there.
Yeah, I'd like to see what you have. Wow, yeah, his caps don't come back or nothing, huh? He is just straight up broken. Yeah, yeah, just broken. Wow, what a life to live. What a life to live. So wait, is there, is the entertainer in here? Wait. And, oh, that's right. One of these people. Well, that's an odd thing to see. One of these people was talking about how they owed someone money and they were looking for work. I do vaguely remember this. Where are they though? It's kind of a depressing room. It's apparently just a druggy room? Or like a room where they steal people's kidneys? I'm not sure what they're implying with that one. Ah, there you are.
Oh, it's you.
If you're looking for work as a singer,
Really? The Tops, huh? Well, it's no shark club, but I hear security on the strip is real tight. Even Mr. Bishop wouldn't hit a joint like that. I'll check it out. Thanks.
boom. Bye. Are you not? I guess he's not going to leave. I'm going to sleep real quick. Alright, well, that's 2 down. That was a weird noise. It literally just sounded like something was, like, straight up stomping in or something. That was really weird. What do I have? All my armors and stuff. All the stuff I decided to keep. I have not used these binoculars in so long. Very tempted to just get rid of them. Oh. I do have a separate grenade launcher. Different than Thump Thump. What? I don't know where I got that from. Odd. Odd, I say. Okay, so... Oh yeah, I forgot I have time bombs, too. So this makes me wonder now. I have multi-plas rifles? 113. Oh, welcome, Mika. How goes it? Pretty good. Pretty good. Just trying to figure out what I want to get done in Fallout today. We took this side quest you mentioned, talking to Swank, but it turns out Swank just sends you to Tommy Tamini so that you can go get more acts for his show. So it just led us from one thing to the other, unfortunately. But I'm curious now. If I take all this, I'm over encumbered. I want to see if this will actually let me teleport over encumbered to Big Mount or Big MT the zone. Oh, I have to dismiss them? Wow. Okay. Okay. I guess I have to dismiss them for this to work. You know what? In that case, I'm not going to do it right now. If that is the requirement, I'm not doing it right now. Then we'll leave. I remember how much random stuff I've got. I kept a Ripper. I didn't think I kept the Ripper. Time bombs. Okay. Oh wait. Wait. I don't... Why was that in there? What? The transponder, yeah. Try telling them to wait here. Maybe that'll work. Maybe? I think it's because you leave the map and it doesn't want to keep track of it. It's not that big a deal. I'll do it another time. I might actually do it off stream though. I don't remember getting this power armor. Is it? Oh, I don't have power armor training though. That's the problem, right? That's what it is. I don't have power armor training, so I can't. I can't use that yet. That's what it was. I don't have power armor training. Of all the things for me to not have, power armor training is an odd choice. Rebecca, how are you doing? How was work and such? That's a new one. Yay. No thanks. Okay, cool. Okay. Cell phones are weird, everybody. Cell phones are really weird. I don't know if anybody out there knew that, but cell phones are weird. They're just real weird. That's all I can say. Ooh, looks like Floppy Penguin's over playing some Resident Evil 4, which is good. It's good to see. There we go. But yeah, Ika, how are you doing today? You having a good day? Alright. We're still a little heavy, but it's probably fine. It was alright, nothing too crazy today. That's good to hear. Same for me. We got a lot done. But overall, not a terribly difficult day. Oh, Ika, I do have a request. For Saturday, for D&D, I humbly request that you and not die, please. I humbly request you to not die. Tops is looking for a musical act.
Maybe it's time to give these tired old bones a rest. All right, show me what you've got.
I'm giving you a real opportunity here. How about some compensation?
I suppose it's only right you get a little something for your troubles. Here, my daddy left me this gun. Guess I don't need it no more.
Wow. Mysterious Magnum added. I didn't know that was an option. Ooh, grilled mantis legs? Yes. Grill all the mantis legs? I don't want slashing or running water. I'll try not to, thank you. I really appreciate that. You can sit on the stump? Oh, yeah. Look at us. Space Commander Beam Geiger sitting on a stump next to a fire, next to a billboard, next to a dry riverbed or lake bed with big ants in it. It's the atomic American dream right there. Yeah, I mean, I've got some stuff, like, it's all ready to go, and I just really don't want you to die Saturday, because that would be really obnoxious, because I put a lot of work into the stuff you're going to be doing, and I really don't want you to die. I humbly request you don't do anything that will get you killed. And that includes, but is not limited to, letting me crit on you. I don't know how you stop that, but you stop it right now. Stop it. Just like that. Stop it. Stop letting me crit you. Ooh, pack ramen. It has a baseball on it. Ain't nobody has ever wanted a baseball on a pack ramen. What's wrong with you people? What was that weird spooky noise? Yeah, the crazy Boavir boss fight. I don't even know what that would look like. Like, that sounds like something out of an old, like, Nintendo module. Ow. Will you stop that? Where, like, he stands up on top of, like, his blacksmithing, like, the whatchamacallit? The... Oh. Got him, Eddie. Like, he just stands up on top of... Oh my god, Eddie is just eating them, like, obliterating them with his plasma cannon. But like he's standing up on top of the forge, and he's like throwing hammers at you while you have to dodge like attacks from his minions or something. Which sounds hysterical, but no, that's not the plan right now. That's not the plan for you to fight Boavir. That is a big ant. Ow, stop it. Stop it. To fight Boavir and his minions. AKA apprentices. Though you do need to go pick up your caltrips that you had custom made. And turn in your 15 silver. Remember, we left off with you tying up Sean. So, oh my god, did I one-shot that guy? Tying up Sean. So we're really picking up with you guys having to figure out what you're doing with Sean and dealing with the aftermath of the Sean situation. So that's where we'll be picking up. I mean, I don't know how much you all are going to actually get done, but I have quite a bit planned. So yeah, and Igor needs to figure out why Boavir is there. That's true. He doesn't know why Boavir is there. He just know Boavir showed up and almost got himself eaten by a werewolf Sean. Much to Boavir in true group thought processes, Boavir himself is also confused on why he almost got eaten by a werewolf. So at least everyone's on the same picture, same page about that, right? Everyone's confused about why Boavir almost got eaten by a werewolf. It's just different parts of that question. You're wondering why he's there. He's wondering why there's a werewolf coming at him. Oh, there's a vault here? Okay. Oh, one thing I did notice while I was playing through as my... what did I... Kabar McStabby was... I noticed, I don't know if I haven't gone back to... where is it? Bonding Spring. Yeah, I haven't gone back up to the quarry and like beat up any of those death claws. And you know what? They deserve a whooping. They're not cool people. They deserve a whooping. I tell you what. Okay, what is it? And should I use... Oh, that's shockingly underwhelming. So there's Vault 11. And I apparently haven't been here before? Stupid. Dumb. Raul knocking me out of the way. Oh, apparently Raul does have a quest. I don't know how to trigger it, but apparently Raul does have a quest. When I was looking at items to see what like kind of the best build is for using a combat knife. Yeah, he has a quest. Yeah, I found one of the things you can do with him. And I was like, oh, well that's interesting. I had no idea. I just don't know how to trigger it. I didn't like dive into the quest. I just know it has a conclusion. I think you started it or mostly have started it. Oh, okay. Security recording vault entrance. Download complete. What?
Are we really gonna do this? It's open. We could just leave.
I couldn't. Not after that.
We don't deserve to leave. A shining example. That's what it called us. But we were. We did what we were supposed to. Not by a long shot. Anybody would have done what we did.
You ask me? That's exactly the problem. Now let's get on with this.
I'll go first. Wait. People should know what happened. They could learn from it. If there's anyone out there at all, I hope they never have to find out. Ready, Harry? Yeah. No, wait!
Okay. Well, that was something. 1, 2. I see 2 bodies here. 1 and 2. Oh, there's 3. and 4. Okay, so there's all the bodies. This giant praying mantis is on top of them. This is a nice, fun character building experience. I believe you. Only one gun though. Considering 4, it sounded like hit the ground. Okay, so presumably whoever the one was talking didn't kill himself, but the others. Oh, okay, yes. Remember about. Okay, I think I know what this one is. I think I remember this. Oh, hello? Just giant stupid rat. What are you doing here? Okay. Yeah, I think I vaguely remember what was going on with this. Like that. Giant rat fool. Oh, another thing I found out though, that was really interesting. That is apparently melee weapons in VATS, to compensate for the fact that they attack slower, they do double damage, which I thought was interesting. So there's kind of like a trade-off for that, like trading the speed of like a combat knife versus the extra damage per hit in VATS. Today's food lore is Japanese food. Takoyaki and tonkatsu ramen. Ooh, tonkatsu ramen. Yeah, I was in a hurry. I tried to order a pizza, but my phone was fighting me for some reason on signing into my Domino's account. So I ended up just stopping to get McDonald's instead. I got myself a nice double fillet of fish combo, which is pretty good. $9, you get a double fillet of fish, a large fry, and a large drink, which by today's standards is actually a pretty good deal. But I'm jealous, Ika. I would very much rather have some tonkatsu ramen. Yeah, but you can't send Raul to space with melee VATS. I guess I can. That's fair. Ooh, another terminal. Another terminal? So, there's a lot of just bugs in here. Oh, it's a bomb! Oh, God. Okay, this one isn't a bomb. Vault 11 election guide. Dear fellow Vault dwellers, congratulations. Your dedication to the democratic process is the bedrock upon which the continued stability of Vault 11 is based. Now, to help you make your decision for the year's election, the coalition of Vault 11 voting blocks has put together this handy dweller's official guide to obtaining overseers democratically, or do good. That contains a summary of this leading candidates for overseer, as well as their statement, key positions, and most importantly, endorsements. Sincerely, Roy Gottlieb, Chairman, Coalition of Vault 11 Voting Blocks, President, Justice Block. Candidate, Henry Glover. Endorsement, Utilitarian Block, Divine Will Block, Allied Service Workers Block. I'm a devoted husband and father of 6 beautiful children. My oldest, Sam, was on the honor roll this quarter, and I couldn't be prouder of him. My youngest, Henry Jr., just said his first word, and it was Dada. We've got this bond already, and he's still just a boy. Friends, when you go to the polls this election, I want you to think of your own children. Then I want you to think of Sam and Henry Jr., picture their faces. Nate Stone should be overseer, not me. Candidate, Donna Haley. Endorsement, Human Dignity Block, United Vault Technicians Block. I'm aware of the rumors circulating about me. I want everyone to know that they are vicious lies being spread by the other candidates in a desperate smear campaign. I have never in my life done anything so depraved, let alone 4 such things. But even if I had, that still wouldn't mean you should vote for me. Consider the fact that I am grossly underqualified for the position, and that both of my opponents are far more deserving. I know nothing about governance. You would be hard-pressed to find a worse candidate than me. I can promise you my administration would be a disaster. Candidate Nathan Stone. Endorsement, the Justice Block. This is ridiculous. I shouldn't even be a candidate, and I wouldn't be if it weren't for all the dirty backroom politics going on around here. It's sickening. You should all be ashamed. Okay, notice of postponement. Fellow citizens, due to the tragic events of the past few days, the Coalition of Vault 11 voting blocks has unanimously decided to postpone the election to oversee pending further investigation into the murders. Your security team wishes you to know that they are working tirelessly day and night to find the perpetrator, and are already following up on a number of promising leads. God willing, if the killer is apprehended swiftly, we may have found a promising new candidate for overseer. Sincerely, Terry Hart, President, Human Dignity Block. Or Death Clause for that matter, that was fun. Or Death Clause for that matter, that was fun. Oh, How did you do that? What weaponry, was it just the explosive glove that would do that? Overseer Order 745. One thing I do want to break down. So we had the election guide about the 3 candidates running, each of them having sort of explaining why they shouldn't be voted for as the president or the head of the vault, implying that you don't want to be elected the head of the vault. And I guess in the case of Nate Stone, he specifically didn't even want to run, but was put up to it against with backroom politics potentially being why he's doing that. Now, notice of postponement is apparently the election was postponed due to some series of murders, which interesting. And that if the perpetrator is found, they might become the new head of the vault, implying there's a reason people don't want to be in charge of the vault, and it is in fact some sort of punishment. Overseer Order 745. Effective immediately, the traditional selection process for Overseer is hereby ended. In lieu of a yearly election, a citizen will be chosen 1 month prior to the start of his or her term with our mainframe's random number generator, ensuring complete impartiality, and fairness. Catherine Stone, Overseer. So, maybe related to Nate Stone? Further info needed. So right now all we know is that they did annual voting. You don't want to become the Overseer for whatever reason. And then appears to be some kind of political thing about Nate Stone and potentially the Lady Stone, whose name I don't remember now. Might have had something to do with changing them. Let's see. Nah, very fast attacking melee weapons like combat knives. Then you use drugs to increase melee attack speed. Then use turbo or implants GRX to slow time down. And all the perk that can knock down / knock back enemies. If you proc that perk enough times while facing the right angle, you can send enemies flying. Oh, interesting. One interesting thing I did read about, which sounded hilarious, and I was kind of tempted to try, was apparently the cosmic knife. If you do the fire one, if you do the cosmic, the flaming or superheated cosmic fire knife, apparently mixed with the right perks and a maxed out luck of 7, it has a 5 times chance to, or 5% plus chance to to crit. So if you have both of like the luck, like better criticals or whatever, or finesse or whatever it is, max luck of 7, and that knife, and the hat with the +1 to crit chance, and one other object that's like a +1 to crit chance, you can actually crit on every single hit with that particular weapon. And it makes it like apparently pretty bonkers in regards to damage output. Though the thing I was reading was saying that the combat knife is arguably, Vault 11 jumpsuits? Didn't I? Vault 11. Why does this sound familiar? Wait, is Vault 11... Is this the suit that Doc whatever back in Goodspring gives you? Is Vault 11 the jumpsuit he gives you at the beginning? No? Oh, okay. I swear I thought I remember 11 somewhere towards the beginning when I was playing through it yesterday. Is his 21? Is it 21 he gives you? He gives you the one that is on the strip. Okay, 21 or whatever. Yeah, okay. I don't remember what number it is. Okay. But yeah, 11 seems familiar, but I just don't remember where I remember recently seeing it back at the beginning of the module. Alright, so far we don't know what exactly happens, other than you don't want to get voted head of the vault.
Guess what? I won't know our tricks after all.
Man, Raul is terrible with that chainsaw. He really just is not good with chainsaws. Ow, stop it. Stop it, you little jerk. Oh, what?
Crouchwalking is hell on my back, boss.
Okay, then don't. So don't do it. Just do whatever you want. Raul, I only brought you along because you always complain that I'm leaving you alone. Well, how about you stop complaining? How about that, huh? Did you ever think about that? It's not Omega, not Orbit. What? Am I... What? I can't... Oh, agent? Okay, it's agent. I just... There for a hot second, I'm like, I don't think there's a correct answer in this list, but no. Oh, security recording. Let's see. Overseer orders... Okay, okay, yeah. Notice of opponent... Okay, those ones we already read. Okay. Justice Block HQ security tapes.
She can't do this. It's done. We're done. Nothing's done. She's got the authority. The only thing she can't do is change her own fate. Nothing says she can't change the selection process for future overseers. I say she can't. You shouldn't have toyed with her like that, Roy. We still have the majority. We don't vote for anything anymore. I'm not talking about voting. What then? You want to have a sit-in? A hunger strike? Not exactly. Maybe march into her office with torches and pitchforks? Yes. Come on. I mean it. What? Start a revolution? Laws don't outlast their governments. Roy, all we have to do is wait until someone from Justice Block gets picked for overseer. Then we have them change the law back. There won't be any blocks after the new overseer is picked tomorrow. Everyone's going to move on. By the time we've reformed, who knows if we'll still be in the majority? We can hold the block together. You don't know that. Besides, what if the computer picks you? What if it picks me? And your solution is to start shooting? Not if we don't have to. Look, we arm up. We go to the lower floors, take some strategic targets. Power, food, water. Just until she turns authority over to us. The other blocks won't support it. They're tired of us having the power. We have the majority. We don't need them. This isn't a vote, Roy. They'll fight back. They've never had the nerve. Hell of a way to test it.
Wow, Roy. Wow, Roy. Sounds like you might be having some issues there, Roy. I don't know if Roy has the goodness of the people at the front of his heart, eh? I think Roy might have lost the purposes of government a little bit. Slow-mo on that wall, I guess.
Purely thanks to your brilliant leadership.
I don't know. I don't know who killed what there. Just a teensy bit. Just a smidge. Just a smidge lost the purpose of the government and such. Which, of course, is always sad, but... You know, when you're throwing a full revolution as opposed to, I don't know, losing a small bit of your control, you might have some issues. I mean, we know it didn't go well, as the whole, you know, vault's cleared out now. Wait, what did this say? Male dorm. Oh. Oh, interesting. So the genders were kept separate. Huh. I don't think I ever noticed that before. Well, that's a bit of a wrinkle now, ain't it? A female dorm, male dorm. Oh, admin is over here. Okay, it's a separate room. Overseer's office or security? Well, let's go check out security.
Don't worry, boss. With my cat
dead. Oh my god, like I think I somehow critical hit it literally in its brain somehow? Yeah. Radioactive. Oh, correct word, first try. Let's go. Okay. Disengage the lock, please. Take the whiskey. Ooh, mini nuke. Not sure why that was inside of a vault, but okay. Oh, wait. We take that. Ammo doesn't have a weight, but it has value. Thus, we take it. Let's see. Pre-war money, same thing. Has no weight, but it has value, so we take it. Alright. I mean, security was definitely cleared out a wee bit, but not that big a deal. Ooh, lower levels. It's interesting that all that's in here are just rats and the large praying mantises. It sort of has this feel of like maybe the... Oh, I almost hit that. Tripwire. Ah, it's just a shotgun one. But it has this feel of like maybe the rats and the praying mantises were meant to represent the warring groups inside of this side of this vault, perhaps? Potentially, I'm saying. Maybe. Yeah. Otherwise, I don't know. We don't really go into a place where the things inside of the vault are warring with each other. Usually, right? Usually, if we go into a vault, the stuff in there is just whatever you face off against. It's not usually fighting itself. Okay.
Get him, boss. I mean, if that fits with your schedule.
I don't know what you're talking about. Please contact. Oh, we need the key. Wait, how do I get? Okay, so it's got to be this way then. It's very funny to me that Eddie has that soundbite he plays every time he goes into combat. Giant rat. Yeah. Also funny that we're doing all this with a lead pipe, by the way. We're just running in here and lead piping them to death. I have one of the most advanced weapons on probably the planet Earth currently strapped to my back in the form of this crazy hollow rifle. And instead I'm running around with a lead pipe beating rats and giant praying mantis to death with it. With my ghoul friend in metal armor with a chainsaw, and my flying plasma bot armed robot friend. Right tool for the job. Yeah, we're just literally running around doing like extermination work, but in like the oldest fashioned way. Four missiles. Again, what do they need missiles for here? What are you gonna do with missiles? Oh, they're not dead. Like, that's such a terrible idea in this environment to use anything explosive. Like, grenades would be a terrible idea. Oh. What? Fool. Activate your rebreather. The thing that allows you to breathe underwater. Oh. It's just some boxes down here. Also, I'm not really bothering to pick up all these other little sundry things that we could use back at the sink. I'm really not that worried about it. Like, technically, I could take these clipboards and have them turned into stuff. Oh, people are actually down here and died. Wow, there's a lot down here to explore, considering Was that an explosion? Why was there an explosion? Take that, fool. Fool rat. Yeah, why was there an explosion? There shouldn't be any explosions going off. Take that, giant mantis. Thinking you're better than me because you're giant? Completed challenge. Oh. We killed up close 75 enemies. Prepared speech of Gus Olson, ombudsman for the annual overseer election. Interesting. Okay. Personal, okay. Oh, this is the, it's not an audio thing. Okay. Good afternoon. Each year in an appointed task of the ombudsman, not only to officiate the election, but to chronicle it in hopes that after the last overseer has finished his term and walked to his death in the chamber beneath his office, and the vault has been still, and only one day some excavator from humanity, or perhaps some yet unknown race of super beings, might find our records and incorporate them into historical canon. But lately, it's occurred to me that that's not really why. I think the real reason we do it is because we want to believe that somewhere in the archive there's an answer to all this. Or perhaps there will be one when the historical records are completed and the whole story is told. We want it to make sense, to understand why the vault's mainframe will kill us if we do not offer one of our own as a yearly sacrifice. To fully comprehend why we continue to have these elections despite the unfettered corruption that has plagued it for what must be decades by now. There was a simpler time when elections meant shaking hands and kissing babies, but now, with the rise of the voting blocks and this infestation of bribery, drug trafficking, smuggling, and God knows what else, we want to know why. Well, I've been through the archives, and I can tell you, you won't find the answer there. You won't find an account of the first overseer who entered the vault as the only citizen aware of the sacrifices that would have to take place, but didn't have the answers either. If he did, he surely would have foreseen the citizens' anger when he broke the news. Surely he would have guessed that they would want to choose a sacrifice democratically, in a way that citizens are accustomed to washing our hands of terrible deeds, and that his name would be at the top of the polls, and that this simultaneous... Wait. What is this? I do not know this word. Simultaneous vacancy of overseer and martyr would forever fuse the two positions here in Vault 11. But he didn't. He had the answers no more than any of us, and the records state that after the citizens discovered that the sacrificial chamber password was his wife Betty's first name, and its door was unsealed so he could be offered as the first sacrifice, he walked down into that room crying like a child. Wow, what a speech! The local D&D I went to was alright. The DM did a good job, but the players didn't seem all that interested in it. You had it right the first time? I did? Wait, really? Hold on. Where's that word? The citizens would have guessed it was sacrificed dramatically. Simultaneous. So this is simultaneous? Vacancy of overseer? Okay, this is simultaneous. Interesting. I wonder if there are no answers to be found, and we are just going along with this because we don't see any other choice. Nevertheless, I still hold on to hope that we can find one. I urge you all to take the journey I took, to remember that it wasn't so long ago that we were ruled by our chivalry and our dignity, and that those were the times when we didn't have to be quite so ashamed. Thank you. Words? Yes, words. Yeah, I think the thing for Ika to keep in mind, though, when you're going to a thing like that, is that I don't know. Do you remember how many people were there at the event? Because part of that problem becomes when I'm DMing for you and Noel, you two are basically just bouncing ideas off of each other and then to me, which is pretty quick. The problem is once you get more than like 3 or 4 people, things start to slow down a little bit because now every person is taking 20 seconds to do a thing. So instead of it being 40 seconds between actions, it's like 3 minutes. So people start to get kind of bored. It's definitely an issue I've seen in real life, even with, like... How did I run right by that and not go off? That was weird. 5 players in a DM. Okay, so that's a pretty standard party, honestly. I mean, it's on the high end, but... So I think the problem comes down to the fact, like... I don't think people... Oh, there's a trap here. Like the waiting. Oh, is this the explosion that went off earlier? Oh, I bet one of these stupid giant mantises came into the kitchen and they triggered that trap and there was an explosion. The earth-shattering kaboom we were all promised. Wait, there's another one? Oh wow, that's another different giant mantis. But yeah, so unless they're like super engrossed in the story, most people have a tendency to start kind of falling off of paying attention. And then what ends up happening is kind of this spiraling effect of they're not paying attention, so when it becomes their turn, they don't know what they were planning on doing. So now their turn takes even longer. And then that means other people have longer before... That is a lot of food. So other people have even longer before their turn comes up, causing them to get bored and forget what they were going to do. It's unfortunate when it happens, but... That's the good thing about a small group, is that, you know, you're not waiting so long for it to get back to your turn. But yeah, I mean, I've seen it, like I said, even in personal, I guess, groups, at playing at someone's house who are just friends, that if you're playing with more than like 3 people, then someone usually gets their phone out and is on their phone while other people are taking their turns, and depending on the DM, the DM might get kind of upset with that. Yeah, it just also happened when they were all more actively doing something too. Oh, really? Well, then see, those are people I don't understand why they're playing. If you're in the middle of like a combat and everyone needs to be on point, how are you getting bored and looking at your phone? You should be in the moment. If you're not in the moment then you're probably not wanting to play. Like, maybe you're there because you have nothing better to do, or maybe someone asked you to, like, come along with them or something, but... Favorite speech of Gus Olson. Good afternoon, appreciate task. Oh, okay. I think I just read this, didn't I? Yes, I did. Okay. I guess that's if I missed the one that was on the podium. Alright. So, now we know the secret password to the entrance of the Overseer, which is Betty. Call me Betty. That's a reference only I probably will remember. But there's a movie, Kung Pao Enter the Fist, where they... Oh, wait, how is this door locked now? Isn't this the way I came in? That's... Oh, okay, I swam down. Where this is if you were to go left. Okay, that makes more sense. But they took this old movie, I don't remember what the original movie was called, and they basically special effected in a modern actor over the scenes of the protag of the movie, doing wacky over-the-top... I can activate the loudspeaker? Doing wacky over-the-top, like, kung fu moves in certain scenes. And then they also dubbed over all of the original dialogue with new, like, comedic voices and stuff. It was pretty funny. It did okay, but one of the lines is the main antagonist talking to one of his minions, and his minion's like, "What's going on, boss?" And he's like, "Don't call me boss, call me Betty." And then throughout the rest of the movie, the minion has to call him Betty instead of his name, but for no apparent reason. And just me and my friend got a big kick out of that scene at the time. Okay, cafeteria, reactor, cafeteria, atrium. Okay, where is... I gotta go back to the Overseer's room. And put in the password is Betty thing. Must be all the way back? Oh, look, they triggered a different trap over here. So that's what happened. That's what that explosion was. The praying mantis triggered that trap that caused some kind of bomb to go off. It must have been one of the grenade ones. I'm also curious on how, like, did these people just shoot each other, or did the overseer computer actually send out robots or something to kill everybody? I'm just curious now. Utility. Oh. Wait, can I go this way to get to the atrium? Oh, it's underwater. Wow, there's a lot more underwater stuff than I was remembering. I mean, I didn't remember much of this area. That carton of cigarettes would absolutely not be good anymore. No way that that would still be good. 200 years, or like, even if, let's just say it's been 10 years since this happened. 10 years of sitting in differential pressure control. Okay, there's a quest item down here? Okay. I cannot activate. I cannot grab this first aid kit. Odd. I was surprised the DM was running 4 different groups. Well, was he running 4 groups simultaneously, or it was a different one each night, right? Because a lot of the time when they do like a DM thing at a location like that, overseer's office, what they'll do is they'll just run something out of a book, different one each night, once every 2 weeks. Okay, yeah. So what they were probably doing is running it out of a book, so that way they didn't have to invent everything themselves. They just had to kind of referee for the players in the moment. But yeah, there are some people who can do that kind of stuff full time, and you know, they just commit themselves to that, which is interesting. Okay, oversee or order. Effective immediately, the traditional selection okay, that one is done. Open sacrificial chamber. Okay. So now we have discovered what's really going on here. That basically they need to sacrifice someone to the computer so that the computer doesn't presumably kill everyone else. Once a year, one person needs to be sacrificed. Apparently, the way that works is they vote on who gets sacrificed. And I guess as a compensation for being voted as the sacrifice, they also get to become overseer for the next foreseeable year. Which is an interesting choice. So it really makes me wonder, though. They had mentioned that the overseer, the first overseer, read about this and then cried as they walked down into the sacrifice chamber. But I really want to read what the actual official wordage from Vault Tech about what the requirements for this are. Because that implies that the first overseer either sacrificed himself for whatever reason, or B, that the actual wording in the note from Vault Tech required specifically the overseer to be the one sacrificed each year. And I want to know what the actual wordage was, but we can't seem to see that. Oh, this one was walking down with a cup and then died out here? Okay, I'm curious what happens to my companion.
Congratulations, martyr. Your
they're coming
fantastic
with me.
journey is only just beginning. Please proceed to the light. The light is calming and puts your mind at ease. Go to the light.
Okay. Oh. I was flashbanged. Okay.
Welcome. Please sit in the chair. The show is about to begin.
Alright. Okay, everyone be on guard.
The show requires that you sit in the chair.
Alright. Happy Trails. Presented by Vault-Tec.
Greetings, martyr, and welcome. If you're here now, it means you've been offered up as a sacrifice so that your vault can continue to thrive. Currently, you may be feeling sad or angry. Perhaps you never got to have grandkids, or to enjoy the pleasures of a fresh cigar. But march with your chin held high, soldier, and remember that each of us has an important role to play. For some people, their role might be to heal the sick. For others, it might mean they will drive a race car or fly a rocket ship. And some of us are meant to forfeit our lives for the good of the people. Sure, it might not be as fun as driving a race car, but it's every bit as important. Let's take a moment to reflect on the moments that made your life worth living. Think about that time you kissed your steady girl for the first time under the bleachers at the big game. Or when you snuck out after curfew to catch that new flick that your parents wouldn't let you see because it was too scary. Boy, were they right. And who could forget when you met the love of your life? What a looker. These are just examples. Do you feel that feeling stirring in your chest as you think of these things? Good. What you are feeling is peace. You've led a great life. Living it has been its own reward. But it is only the beginning. Close your eyes now, and imagine what joys await you in the next life. The afterlife. Can you see them? Good.
Uh-oh. Stuff is happening. Oh, I can headshot. Oh, head crippled. They had a catastrophic failure. There's nothing in this footlocker. Wow, that is a lot of random dead bodies. Okay, it looks like Eddie took care of the robots on this side for me. Good work, Eddie. Let's see. Let's see. I think the note said the first overseer was the only one who was told about the sacrifice thing. And when he had to reveal it to the populace voted to sacrifice him. Then everyone decided the overseer should be sacrificed. Oh, is that what they meant? Okay. Yeah, I know that he was the first one and he had to tell them and they voted him to be the one to be sacrificed, but... Oh, Vault 11 mainframe. Override lockdown, system recording, Vault 11 solution. Automated response. Okay, system recording. Recording downloaded. Automated response, Vault 11 solution. Recording downloaded. Wow, we got a lot of XP for whatever this was. Well, 450, which should be a lot, but at level 40 or whatever, it's not that much. Override lockdown. Overriding complete. Okay. So we have... Automated solution response or system recording Vault 11 solution.
All right, I know you can hear me, so listen up. There's 5 of us left. 5 out of I don't know how many. So, it's over. We've talked and it's over. We're not gonna send anybody to die anymore. So shut off our water, our gases, or do whatever it is you're programmed to do. But we're done listening to you.
Okay. So, then we have the response.
Congratulations, citizens of Vault 11. You have made the decision not to sacrifice one of your own. You can walk with your head held high, knowing that your commitment to human life is a shining example to us all. And to make that feeling of pride even sweeter, I have some exciting news. Despite what you were led to believe, the population of Vault 11 is not going to be exterminated for its disobedience. Instead, the mechanism to open the main vault door has now been enabled, and you can come and go at your leisure. But not so fast. Be sure to check with your overseer to find out if it's safe to leave. Here at Vault Tech, your safety is our #1 priority.
Yeah, it's an unmarked quest. Ah, okay. Wow. So, again, further proof that Vault Tech is just evil. But we found one of the more messed up vaults. It makes me wonder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So it looks like they sacrificed about 16 people before everything went bad. Maximum character building? Yeah, basically. So they sacrificed 16 people. And then, apparently the pressures of the situation got out of hand, and then they had the revolt that killed everybody, leaving behind 5 people who told the computer, you know what, we're not interested in doing this anymore, and with that, they were rewarded with the ability to leave. Why they chose on their way out to end themselves, I don't know. If anything, I think I'd want to be alive to warn other people about the horribleness that is the inside of the vaults, but that's just me. It seems like of the 5, 4 of them actually did end their lives, and then the 5th member did not, and then wandered off into the waste, presumably. So yeah. Oh, this is a steam gauge assembly. Oh, this is a different security area, I think. Oh, it is, yeah. 20mm grenades, eh? Okay. 3 more money. Yeah, it always kind of blew my mind. Like the thought processes of what happened with Vault Tech, because I've had to read a lot of, watch a lot of YouTube breakdowns about basically what happened, or like why it happened, like what the plan was, and it was actually pretty over the top. Right, okay, so Vault 11 disposition, except for the excerpt from the disposition of the defendant Catherine Stone by Vault attorney Gerald Miles. Question. Okay, let's pick up where we left off, Kate. Catherine. Sorry, right, Catherine. I keep forgetting. My husband calls me Kate. You were telling us of a discussion you allegedly had with Roy Gottlieb of the Justice Block. Not allegedly, had. We've been through this. It's still just words. It's just your word against his, Miss Stone. But please, the discussion. Sighs. He said my husband's name came up in their meetings. The candidate endorsement meetings. Yes, they were going to endorse him. He wouldn't say why, but I know my husband had a regular poker match with some of them, and he had been on a winning streak lately. And according to you, what did Mr. Gottlieb offer? He said he could sway his block, prevent the endorsement, but only if you what, Catherine? Only if you perform sexual favors? Yes. Was this just for Mr. Gottlieb? No. All the block leadership. They're friends. And you agreed. What else could I do? They had a majority. How long did this go on before the endorsement came out? I don't know. A month, maybe? And when that came out and your husband was endorsed despite your supposed agreement, was that when you decided to kill members of the block? Yes. I thought their majority is pretty slim. If I thin things out a little, especially in leadership, someone else might get elected. Assuming you weren't caught. No, Mr. Miles. I expected to be caught. That was my best chance. Now they'll elect me. A confessed murderer? You think voters would be willing to risk putting you in a charge? They have to pick somebody and live with their reasons. Yes, but wait and see. Okay, so there we go. So we found out why they were going to kill the husband, Nate Stone. She did a bunch of sexual favors for them in an attempt to save her husband. They did it anyway, despite her best attempt at not having that happen. And when she found out they betrayed her, she killed them. Then used that as a starting platform to get herself elected as the overseer, where she promptly took away.
Keeping quiet. Unless my creaky knees give us away.
Shut up, Raoul. Where she promptly basically went about undermining the block voting system that was in place. What's interesting about this, then, is she must not have killed Roy. But they also mentioned decades of voting. Yeah, that's true. You're not wrong. So it's been longer, but that's the amount of bodies that were in the sacrifice chamber. Gaming the system. Yes, gaming the system. Talking about a metaphor. Programming. But yeah, she basically figured out how to undermine the system to get herself elected. Interesting though that she must not have killed Roy because Roy was the one who led the uprising against her decision, even though Roy was the one that was primarily involved with getting her husband elected or nominated for overseer. So I'm curious on who she did actually kill, if not the one most responsible. That's a really interesting choice. I don't know if it's one of those things where she was planning on killing them and just didn't get a chance because of the way things turned out, or what.
I expect to be awed by your dizzying mercantile sense, boss.
Just stop it. Shh, be quiet. What am I carrying? I guess all these cartons of cigarettes? Yeah, that's it. Okay. Or maybe she knew Roy would put her as the new candidate? Maybe. It's one of those things I don't think we get an answer to. It's a good idea, and I understand the plot, the basic plot of what happened here, which is fine. So the writing's perfectly fine. But it doesn't... There are gaps in the story that are never explained, and that's fine too, I suppose. For what is supposed to be kind of a found dilemma / drama, it's fine. It's just, you know, there's some holes I would like to have filled in the story. Pack of cigarettes. Wait, did we not kill everything in here? Hold on. Wait, why does it say there's 2 things still alive? What? How is this possible? Oh. Eddie found them, apparently. Oh, classroom. Oh, yeah, here we go. Take that, fools. Empty Nuka-Cola bottle. Nuka-Cola truck. Wonder glue. Okay. Wait. 9mm rounds. I don't need all of that. But I can sit at the desks, but I can't, like, look in them. Unfortunate. Oh. Wait. Why is there an NCR trooper in here? What? What? Why is there a random NCR trooper in here? Was this NCR trooper? What? Yeah, you get him, Raoul. You kill those giant praying mantises with your chainsaw. God, he's bad at this. I gotta give him a different weapon. I gotta give him a gun. But yeah, where did that NCR trooper come from? Did he get lost and wander in here and then... die to the... I guess the rats and the giant praying mantises? And why doesn't he have a weapon? I guess maybe if someone lured him in here and killed him, and then took his weapon, I guess that could have happened.
Right. Got it. Sure thing. I expect to be awed by your dizzying mercantile sense, boss.
Or you could just be quiet. Oh, wait. You won't carry that, right? Oh, we are way overweight. Carry all that. Carry all that. Alright. Wait. Why did you... Oh.
Sure. I'll stop.
Okay. You wandered in here drunk? I mean, that could have actually happened. You're not wrong, Ika. It's just amazing he got this far before he was killed. Alright, well there's the harrowing story of Vault 11. I guess we'll go back. We'll go back to Novak for now. It's 3:30. We got to switch over to Earthbound. We didn't get a lot of story mode stuff done, but or main story stuff done, but we did do some more side quests and find some more interesting world lore, I would say. Right, give me
I'm
your
sure
stuff.
you'll be fair and equitable, boss.
All that, all that, all that. You can keep the armor. It makes me wonder if I give him this like mysterious magnum, will he use that? Even though he doesn't have bullets? Oh, his basic melee is apparently
sure thing, boss.
A lead pipe. He doesn't have a gun on him. That's weird. We're keeping the chainsaw, by the way. Just because that's awesome. Frag mine. Pulse mines can stay. I don't need any of this stuff. Remember in the files there's an NPC labeled as Vault 11 Survivor, but they don't actually show up in the module. Command can use guns, but they need ammo, I think, unless they use it at default. Oh. Well, that's lame. Eddie, I need you to... Thank you, Eddie. Stupid pull cues. They don't make any sense. Why have them in here? They don't make any sense. Do I have other... Oh, I do. Scotch. You know, I don't... Now that I think about it, I don't know if I've ever drinking scotch before. Like in real life, I don't know if I've ever drinking scotch. The fission battery we can sell. Circuits don't have weight. Cancel. There we go. Pre-war, there was an overproduction of pull queues in each specific location a Fault module takes place. I guess so.
I'm sure you'll be fair and equitable.
Oh, the mysterious magnum we'll hang on to, though. We have to hang on to at least the named specialty weapons. Outside of that, it's not as big a deal, but we have to hang on to those at least. Still really interesting to me that oh, I still have all this ant stuff on me. Ooh, giant rat meat. I'm gonna put a bunch of this stuff away for now. Junk food. And stalker squeezins. That's a weird one. I don't need quite that much of it. Celery steak. don't need the stealth boys. We have a 945. God, that's insane. Stem packs. No. Okay, that's better. That's closer to where we're supposed to be. Oh, we have some potato crisps on us. That's fine, I guess. Dirty waters we don't have to worry about anymore, so we can keep them on us. Okay, think we're good. Oh, empty syringes. Empty syringes can wait here. We don't need those. Pilot light. Okay, there we go. Wow, that's the lowest we've had our weight in a long, long time. Goodness. I will still never understand, though, what is up with all of the pull queues everywhere all the time. Makes no sense to me. Imagine just walking up to a starving village and just start dropping all these random food items you have in your inventory. Yeah. Just tons and tons of this ancient food is just dropped outside. Like, we just go over to, like, west side of, or whatever, north side or whatever it's called in Vegas and just walk around handing out huge bundles of all this nonsensical food I don't even need or want. Wait, who's moving so quickly? Someone's moving around very quickly over there. Oh, it must be them trying to catch up with me. Alright, well, let's save. Oh, it actually does. Oh, weird. It did a hard save when we went into the sacrifice chamber. Not even a quick save. That did a full hard save there for us. I don't think I did that myself. Wow. That's impressive. They knew that that was a bad thing to send people into. And they wanted to make sure there was a hard save there before you went in. That's good on them. That's good planning ahead. They knew they were going to do something that was potentially dangerous. And they're like, nope. Nope. We can't send people in there to just get immediately mutilated. That would be upsetting. Anybody who checks the VODs here on Twitch or on the YouTube repository, thank you. It's always greatly appreciated. Oh my. I guess just remember we have the event tomorrow. I'll put a link in the Twitter to let everyone know, and another reminder in the Discord to let everyone know about the event tomorrow again. See ya. Bye, Chang Make Money. Shreeman, you have a good night. Ika, good night. You too. Adios, all. And Ika. You too, I swear I'm not an elk. And everyone else, yeah. And remember, if you need a well thought out solution, you need a thinking solution. Raven Hillbrook Inc. Thinking Solutions, everyone. I hope to see you all here for the event tomorrow, if not over the weekend. But that'll be it for me. See you, Shreeman. See you, everyone. Bye.